What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here, back with all things sports, bringing you a brand new video. And today I finally have my hands on the new Puma Future Z. So I did a video about these a while back. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Mike McIntyre here from All Things Sports, back with a brand new video. And before we begin, I want to show you guys something. I've recently tried out this new Teespring website. So if you guys are interested in any of the official merch that you see me wear in the videos, you can go over to this website. I'll leave the link down below in the description and check out to see if there's any gear that you guys would be interested in. I'm testing it out. I want to see what it's like, so please let me know what you guys think. Now let's get back to the video. So I'm going to unbox and review the all-new Future Z, and in the teaser edition release that came out just before Christmas time, I did a little video about them and I was kind of disappointed with them, to be honest. So now I have them in hand. We're gonna see if my initial impressions are true, if I was wrong. We're just gonna see what it's all about. So let's get into the unboxing. Brand new Puma Future Z. We're gonna unbox the boots right here. There you go, brand new Puma Future Z. There are no extras in the box. You just get the boots themselves. I do like the colorway from first impressions. This is a little bit better than the teaser edition, in my opinion. And we're gonna go over all the new elements of the new Future Z. We're gonna talk about the old Future, which I was a huge fan of. I own a pair myself, and let's get into it. So the biggest thing with the new release is it's obviously a complete redesign. We're stepping away from the netfit system that was the main talking point of all of the Puma Futures from its initial launch almost 3 or 4 years ago now, whatever it was. And now we have a all new design, an all new, I'll call it almost like a new stylo. Even though it's called Future, it is a step in a new direction. We've eliminated the old design characteristics and gone for something completely new. So this is the Puma Future Z. And the biggest thing with this one is this fusion fit band thing that we see around the midfoot. So the element that you see in black there is this fusion fit band, what they're calling to enhance the fit and give the upper its kind of responsiveness, essentially. This is supposed to be this elasticated band that has a little bit more of a feature to it that helps with responsiveness, that helps with fit, and really just provides you all the lockdown that you need throughout the midfoot. I'm a little bit skeptical, if I'm honest, because we've seen similar ideas in the past. I think of the Adidas Nitro Charge, where they had this band go across more of the forefoot area, and then on the second generation it was almost in the same spot in the midfoot area like this. And in my opinion, it really didn't do anything, so we'll have to see what that is actually like when I slip them on feet. You still have a knitted based upper where it's this Evo Knit Pro design, so that I'm a fan of because I liked it on the old Futures, on the 5.1 and the 6.1. So it is a very nice stretchy elasticated knit material that makes up the upper of the boot. And then of course the covering on this Puma Future Z is what they're calling Grip Control Pro, so that's the silicone coating that goes on top. One thing that I'm not sure about at the moment is the ridges that the upper has on top of it. It's not, I mean, it's there to give you a little bit of grip, but it kind of reminds me of the Puma Future, I think it was the 3.1 version, where the upper was just so rigid and so rough and really not flexible because they coated it with all these ridges on the upper and it took away from the softness and the flexibility. Thankfully, they're not as aggressive, they're not as rigid as on that boot, so they do offer a little bit of texture and it still allows the boot to stay somewhat flexible, which is a good thing. Again, we'll have to see what those really feel like on feet when I try them on. But other than that, it does look like a solid boot overall. I guess I'm just a little bit bitter at the fact that they've gone for a new design because I was such a fan of the 5.1 and the 6.1 Puma Futures. They really nailed it with those, and I think that was a really, really good design, and I kind of wish they stuck with it. I don't think that this Future Fit band is going to do anything. I do like that we do have a little bit of texture. That's fine with. I just don't want it to spoil the upper of the boot. On the other side of the boot, on the medial side, you can see there's the Future branding written all the way down that inside of the boot. And again, that's kind of rigid and it's raised off the surface a little bit to give you a little bit of texture. I just hope it doesn't spoil the overall feel of the boot. So that's pretty much the upper. You do have a new collar design, obviously. This is getting away from the Future 5.1, 6.1 collar. It's a little bit more one piece, a little bit more new school, I guess, without it being overly high. And then where the boot gets its name from is the sole plate. The sole plate is in this Z shape. That's why you have Future Z. It kind of looks like the letter itself. And overall, nothing to complain about really. It's an internal heel counter, which I guess my preference is an external one, but overall I really don't mind that. You do have the stiffener bar running on this angle throughout the midfoot, and then of course you have the sole plate there itself. It's lightweight, it does its job, it looks good. The studs are typical Puma in the sense that they do look a little bit longer than Adidas or Nike studs, if I'm honest. Let's slip over to the turf and try on the brand new Puma Future Zs. Alright, so trying the Puma Future Z on feet for the very first time, I'm pleased to say that the fit overall and the shape of the boot overall really isn't that different from the last generation of Puma Future, so that's a good thing. So wide-footed players, this is a good thing. It was always a good boot for wide-footed people. You can get them in, they do feel quite comfortable from right out of the box, and overall the shape and the feel of the boot itself is quite good, so I'm really pleased with that. I have to say the collar is not a bad thing at all either. It does fit really quite naturally, it feels good. It's stretchy enough to allow you to get your foot into the boot, no problem. And overall the collar is really good. I like the way that it wraps around your ankle and the heel and all of that, so it does feel quite good. And the upper itself is something that I have to comment on right away. So my first thing that I noticed is it's not nearly as flexible from right out of the box as last year's Puma Future 5.1 and 6.1 because they were basically the same boot. The ridges on the upper, I still think it's going to give you a little bit of texture on the ball, which might be a good thing, but it definitely takes away from the softness and the flexibility of the upper. Now the Fusion Fit system, it's time to comment on that. Overall, I really don't notice anything. That band throughout the midfoot, it's not like it's making the boot, you know, more responsive or giving you more lockdown. It really isn't doing much in that regard. If anything, it does allow for a nice opening to get your foot into, and it's quite flexible and stretchy, allowing the boot to open up, even though it is a one-piece upper. So in that regard, it does a good thing. And the other thing that it does is they've laced the boot in such a way that there are no eyelets, there are no lace holes through that black Fusion Fit band system. So you get this big X, as you can see. As far as sizing goes, you can definitely go true to size with these, there's no doubt about that. They might be a quarter of a size longer than previous models, but overall it's not enough to justify switching your Puma size, so I would just go true to size again. That's it for now. Let's send it back to the desk and we'll wrap the video up. So there you have it, guys, my review of the Puma Future Z. Overall, it's a solid boot, don't get me wrong, it is a really, really well put together boot. I think they do a really good job with their uppers and their knits. I like the collar, I'm a big fan of that actually, it does fit quite well. Sole plate, no complaints there. Overall, it just doesn't do it for me compared to last year's netfit system. So what I said about the Puma Futures in the teaser video, while I may have judged them a little too quickly, overall, again, I'm just a bigger fan of last year's Puma Future 5.1 and 6.1 compared to the Puma Future Z. So that's pretty much it for my review of this brand new football boot from Puma. Please let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, you guys know the drill, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm Mike McIntyre signing off for now. All things sports, take care.